What you feed grows and what you starve dies. Now, this is something that I have sort of been thinking about a lot recently that has helped me break away from like habits that sort of screw you up and move closer into the things that actually make me feel truly happy and fulfilled and, long term good stuff, whatever the hell, you know what I mean. Now, the bad habits are, stuff like porn and video games and sugar and that kind of stuff. It feels good while you're enjoying the pleasures of them. And the moment you finish, if you know the effects they have on your body and all true things about it, you really feel shit about yourself and you think, fuck, what have I done? Um, and then I sort of remembered this quote that what you feed grows and what you starve dies. So if you starve the bad habits, in that sense, is not indulging in them, they die. And then if you feed the good habits, like if you meditate more, if you read more, if you exercise more, if you spend more time outside, that grows. So our bad habits are probably like this giant monstrosity, huge thing. And all the good habits, which we just recently learning about and we've barely even done them, they're like this little thing, very tiny, and they're going up against this giant monster because we've been indulging in these bad habits for like as long as we can remember. It's just been normal. It's been normalized. So obviously, when we try to go up against it with our little good habits, it's you won't be able to sustain it for very long, and that's why ruts are quite frequent, especially in the beginning and when things start to get a little hard. So I was having this idea that you just motivate yourself to do one good habit at a time and do that motherfucker in bulk. Like, do a lot of it. Read 100 pages a day for a few days. Take all your spare time and dedicate it to one thing. Meditate for a few hours. Spend as long as you can of your day outside. Okay, well, exercising is sort of tricky. You can't really just 100% exercise. That's where you got to do some real discipline shit. And then with the bad habits, you fill up all your spare time with the good habits so that you don't have time to indulge in the bad habits. Mm? So if you just grab any book, it doesn't matter what it is, for example, we can take any book, and you just read that thing as much as you can. You get through like 50 pages, 100 pages, whatever the hell you manage to get through, and you use all your time doing that, and you actually don't indulge in the bad habit that day. That's a huge win. That's beautiful. And if you keep trying to sustain that, you're feeding this habit of reading and it's growing. The reading is getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's becoming easier. There's less resistance when you start. You're beginning to actually enjoy it more. It's not thought of this boring thing that you used to think of it as. And the bad habit is starting to get smaller because you're starving it and it's beginning to die. Then once you're reading to a decent sizable level, then you go all in on meditation and you start meditating for a few hours a day. And honestly, it's the greatest thing ever. For a few weeks, I was meditating for hours a day and it completely changed my life. I felt so incredible. Unfortunately for me, I haven't really had the time to do that now. And I don't feel as good, but there are other habits I can do that bring me to that beautiful level, such as stepping outside or sticking my head out the window. Honestly, I'm not even kidding. So you feed into this meditation habit and that grows as well. And you're also focusing all in on meditation while still reading as well. They're both growing together and the bad habit is dying. A lot of people struggle with bad habits and things. But the reality of it is, if you look at the way you use your time, we indulge in our bad habits when we don't know what to do. When we're bored, you're sitting in your room doing nothing. Of course you're gonna, play some video games or look at some fat ass or something. Obviously, how could we not do that? So instead, don't give yourself that opportunity. Just keep going. Spend your time doing the good habits. Spend your time meditating and reading and exercising, journaling, walking outside, talking to people. So many things that we can do. There's millions. Okay, well, not millions, but there's a lot of things we can do. So if we starve this bad habit and we just replace all of our free time with something genuine to do, the bad habit's going to die. And then hopefully it should stay dead. And if you can go a month without indulging that bad habit, honestly, you've won at that point. It's incredible. If you can go 7 days without indulging in a bad habit, which is so, so, so much easier than you think. If you just tell yourself right now that you're going to commit to 7 days and it's still going to be there at the end of those 7 days, you'll find that 7 days without a bad habit is it's pretty easy. You can do it. And I know you can. And deep down on the inside, you know you can. If you believe it, you can do it. But if you can go 7 days without doing a bad habit consistently throughout the year, that's incredible. 2 weeks, oh, now we're talking. But if you can reach a month, that you've won. You've won at that point. And then you just keep working towards it. You keep starving that bad habit. It's a long process. It's going to take some time. There's going to be some bumpy roads, and there may be the rut every now and then. But remember, you can end that rut by starving the bad habit and just going all in on the good habit as much as you can. Muster all your willpower and discipline and just throw it into one fucking task. I have uploaded another video on the channel called Just Start a few days ago, and I'm basically saying to you that all you got to do is just start. Just sit down for the meditation, take one breath, read one word, tie your shoes, put your gym clothes on. Just start, and it'll do wonders for you. But it's an interesting quote to remember. What you feed, I forgot it. What you starve dies, and what you feed grows. That's the quote, and that's the video. Thanks for watching, and try implement this into your life. Stop feeding the habit of watching YouTube, and turn your bloody phone off and starve it. Let it die. And feed yourself the habit of reading. I'm sure 20 minutes from now, you'd be far happier and far more fulfilled if you were reading than if you were watching YouTube. And if you can't read, then meditate. Anyone can meditate. Just follow your breath, and when you start thinking, start following your breath again in a cycle like that.